So, hey guys, thank you so much for joining your girl So Babes on this beautiful Saturday morning. As usual, So Babes looks for those guests to come on and they talk to us about their experience. They talk to us about what they're up to. They talk to us about, they share their tips. They give us some nuggets, right? I always say in life, when we share experiences, you are helping someone who might be experiencing the same thing you experienced before. And I look at this as an example, like, hey, so you can get inspired, right? And that's why I go out and I look for these people. Thank you so much for joining, Edgar. Alice Get Good. And we look at this as an opportunity to share our stories, our experiences. That's why whenever I have a guest that says yes to my invitation, it melts my heart. The person I'm talking to today is someone that I've tried to have on this platform for a long time. I've been talking to this handsome young guy for over a year now. And I'm like, hey, you need to come on my platform. And he'll be like, yes, so I trust you. I'm coming. Finally, he said yes. And this time around, he reached out and I was like, Solange, I'm ready for you. I was like, really? Awesome. So we made the time. I am so happy that he said yes. I'm happy that he created the time to talk to So Babes. Amazing, agile, handsome young man. And I bet that every day his wife wakes up, she's like, bless my heart. I don't even know what I want. I'm at whether I don't marry or not, but So Babes doesn't know how to keep secrets like that. So thank you so much for accepting to come to my platform, Valery. And welcome to the You Can Be Anything podcast.
Good morning, So Babes.
Yeah, so this is Valery Etia. You see, I think the name is not displayed, Valery, but I invited Valery to a podcast to come talk to us about his experience. And if you see how I titled the show, I called it My American Dream Experience. For those of us who have traveled to America, we all have our experiences. We follow different paths in life. And I love to talk to people. I love to hear how people's paths have been. Because for some reason, it makes me feel like, hey, the diversity of life, this whole thing of there is no one size fits all, just you can see it in everybody's experience. So that is why I decided to say, hey, let me bring Valery up so Valery can talk to us about his experience. Valery, before we even go far, all your Etia people are in the comments and they say hello to you. 124 is in there. But again, for those who do not know you, Valery, who would you say? I want you to introduce yourself like, hey, this is you going to take. Look, first things first, you look amazing. I love your outfit and I have to commend it. You look amazing.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to know who is Valery Etia, who is Pa Etia.
So my name is Valery Ba. America has a lot of surprises. So when I came to the US, and I think when I went to Social Security, and we're like, what's your name? I saw Valery Ba. And I said, hey, my last name is Etia. They said, no, man, you need to forget that. We have to put the last initial, which is E. And I saw my name disappearing. If I had to maintain it as my last name, I need to start paperwork. So I decided to, my Etia will not lose. So all my kids go by the name Etia. Of course, in America, my last name is Ba. That's why you see everywhere Pa Etia. Yeah. So Valery Ba, I'm married to my beautiful wife, Sandra. We have 3 kids, Lemuel, Cecile, and Ethan. Those who know me, they call them my flying buddies. I'm always I'm always around with them. I love my family so much, and here are we from the grassroots to the United States of America. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So did you notice that when I said Valery, he says Valery. Nano Kimu de on a toning thing. Yes, you see. So that's a nice one.
Yeah, I remember the first time I visited, and my mom was like, Valery, come here. I'm like, Mom, my name is Valery.
It's Valery. Don't worry, So Babes is also
There's a way that America will change you, you know. But unfortunately, I will not change the way I talk. I will not Americanize, rap and so on. The pigeon is still in me. That's who I am. That's my identity. America will say that's my identity. That's my
Mhm.
identity. Yeah. So it is what
Yeah,
it is. It is what
I
it is.
feel you.
Yeah.
As for me, that thing is far fetched. I don't even know how to speak American English. Very much far fetched. Yeah, but that's great. Thanks for introducing yourself and who you are. Again, we call this the American dream because I wanted you to share with us your experience coming to the US. You have mentioned that you're here with your wife, Sandra. Shout out to you, Sandra. I just learned that you're one of my followers. I might know your name, but I don't know you. But thank you for trusting Social Babes. I don't joke with my followers. So shout out to you, Sandra, and to your amazing kids too. And so before you even got into being this husband and father to your family, why the US? What prompted you to pick the US over, again, at some point we all want to leave Cameroon because of how things are. But why the US? How did you find yourself in America?
Yeah, like every young Cameroonian, we dream. There's an American dream. I don't think it's just Cameroonians, it's the world, the
The
globe.
world.
Everybody wants to come to the US. You know, at one point, I think was it in Brussels, and there is a saying is is big inscribed on the wall. Traveling makes you to see how small you occupy. I may not have put the right words in it, but
Mm-hmm.
that inspires me a lot. So the American dream is not just, we should not fear that somebody says I cannot go to America. It's not about Cameroon. It's the world.
As
Being
well.
to other parts of the world, I've seen people who are like dying to even come to my room. Hey, there's an American around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like any other, coming back to your question, like any other young Cameroonian, I I dreamt of coming to the US. I got married, had my son, the first child. We came to the US while he was 5 months old, if
Um,
I'm not mistaken. We came through the lottery. So I had won the lottery like every other person does. You play the lottery; it's completely free of charge. You go to the embassy, the interviewer or consular officer grants you an interview. Then winning the lottery first doesn't guarantee you coming to the US.
mm-hmm.
So I don't think I want to the back and forth. We're granted a visa, then here we are in the US. But one thing which I can remember while going to the embassy, I had a plan, and I told my family once I get to the US, what I want to do is to join the US military. I didn't know what the US military is all about, but I had a plan. I had a friend who had traveled about 2 or 3 years before me, got married, and was in the military. So I admired him. I called him. I was like, "Hey, bro, Yamando catch him." Be like, of course, the normal thing. Hey, Master Congra, how far? And by then I was single. I said, "Hey, I don't catch at the camp, but I'm getting married soon." He said, "Okay, okay." So we started talking. I'm like, "Master, I just need that job now." Like, no, you have to come to the US first, my brother. So he pushed me, got everything. When I came to the US, I was like, okay, here I am. I need to get to the military tomorrow. Hey, calm down. So we flew in, came. You have to rest because there is a big time difference.
Mm-hmm.
You need to acclimatize. You need to catch up. You need to learn how the people talk.
Yep.
You may not talk like them, but you need to try to understand what they mean.
Yeah.
So those were the major challenges which I would say personally I encountered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, mhm.
Awesome. So yeah, that's your idea. That's how again DV lottery. It's one of the cleanest ways to get into the US. Again, there's other ways that I know I've always admired or I've always appreciated. I think last week I talked to another veteran like you. He also came here through the DV lottery and he shared his story with us as well. So the question I have for you next is you came into the US, yes, you did your DV lottery thing, you came into the US. Before you even came in here, you probably, based on what you just told us, you already wanted to be in the military. So it's something that was already in your head. Why military? What is that? Again, sometimes we have a reason why we want to become certain things. And to you, why military? Do you have
Now,
any
I will never. The first thing is I will never regret me
Mhm.
joining the military, and I
Mhm.
tell those out there, if you have the chance to win the lottery, your best and easiest way to gain your independence in this country is the military. You may not have that much cash, but the best and the perfect way for you to be settled in is the
Yeah.
military. There are certain things which I do not care how long you have been in the US. I do not care how much qualifications you have, how much money. But if I stand as a veteran and you stand maybe 2 days before me, once I get in, hey, sorry, sir, sorry, ma'am, there is a veteran there. Can you come up ahead? So um, there is a point in life that you it's not about money. It's
Yeah.
about the benefits you can get and extend it to your family.
Yeah.
You know, extending it to your families. I'll give you an example. When we came here, where we stayed, everybody is CNA, the regular thing, nursing and so on, IT.
Mhm.
I'm like, I have a wife. I need to take care of my family. I have a son. The best thing I can do is to join the military. I just had to do that sacrifice. And I told my wife, hey, I know you don't like it, but I'm doing this for us. Gave her a
Mhm.
kiss. The same day I was leaving to join the to basic training, I had to put her in the plane to take my son back home. I didn't know what will come of my family once
Yeah.
I'm not there.
Mhm.
There was no phone. You are not allowed to use a phone. The
Mhm.
the only way you can communicate is writing a letter. Of course, USPS. Before the letter gets to them and back, is really a week. So the the military came in the US 2016, if I'm not mistaken. That was when uh, Obama was, I think, leaving,
Yeah.
and then Trump came in. Um, when I signed my contract in November 2016, there were there's something called a delay program. So I had to go for my basic in August. Then Trump won the elections in January. February, my recruiter called me. He's like, "Hey, there is the Pentagon. There is instructions that everybody who is a delayed entry soldier has to go for training now. Is that what you want to do?" I'm like, "Hey, man, please put me in. I'm ready. I've been ready. I wanted to go the same day I signed that contract." So he saw, I was pumped up. Fast forward, I think March, I went back to MEPS, signed my contract. April 17th, if I'm not mistaken, 2017, I took my flight to for training. Um, the good thing here is even if you come, you don't have a car, your recruiter, there is enough budget for that. Your recruiter will come and pick you up wherever you are, take you to do whatever tests, exams you have to do. They will
Mhm.
provide your feeding, take you back home. And what many people do not understand is the same day you carry your bag that you are going to for training, That's in there's nothing here like a Grolo or stagiaire something. No, 100% your payment
It
starts. So
begins,
it's a
yeah.
system. It has been programmed to for those who want to serve.
Yeah.
So I think that the best opportunity, no, not the best, sorry, one of the best of opportunities for us coming here, the military got your back. Trust me on that.
You said something that I really like. You said for everyone, then you switched back and you said for those who want to serve. That is very important because in our community, there's that tendency of, hey, do this, do this. The same thing as you gave the example of nursing, right? For the older generation that was here before, maybe people like us came in the 2000, mid 2000, like 2015, 2016, right? Most of them were in the healthcare system. And what
Definitely,
happened?
definitely.
They will encourage you like, hey, the only way you can make it in America is if you become a nurse. For those who had money, they will tell you, hey, go to pharmacy school and stuff like that. But the one thing that did not come through is the fact that if you have a passion for it, that's why I'm reiterating what you just said. For those who want to serve, it is important that we get into these things because we want to do. It's true that sometimes in life you're going to do what you have to do to get to where you want to be. It's the same thing when I talk about myself. I did CNA. I went into nursing not because it's what I wanted to do, but because I had to do it to survive at that time. You get it?
Correct.
So
Yeah, you are right. Let
that
me
for
let
those
me.
who want to
There
serve.
is I can remember in those the old schools, let me say those who came before us.
Mm-hmm.
The unfortunate thing is, from what I have from my understanding is that most of them didn't have that orientation.
The
I can
information.
remember,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, information. So orientation is very important. Maybe without any publicity, we have a community called CAMP,
Yep.
Cameroonian American Military Professionals.
Mm-hmm.
I am the head of those in North Carolina. We have a well defined structure of the association. We are there to assist those who join the military. You have to be in the military, sign your contract, join the military, then leave before you can get in. You should not
Mm-hmm.
have an intention. I think you can get in. No. So we are there to promote and to orientate our fellow Cameroonians what the military is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have visited some family friends, and when I get there, the first thing they're like, "Hey, Valerie, I see you traveling. I see you organize. I see you this." So I'm like, "So why didn't you join the military?" Valerie, I swear, if I be not say military sweet so, I
Yeah.
for join. Then I'll
No.
get back and say, hey, then the good thing is, if you do not join, your kids can join. You know,
Mm-hmm.
one thing which most of us do not understand is even the Americans, at least, oh sorry, my daughter, at least one person from that family will be from the military. One person,
Mm-hmm.
at least. So once your son, your daughter, once you get into the military takes care of your family. Your parents become your secondary dependent. They have access to the military base. They give them military ID cards, so
Mm-hmm.
they have access to military facilities
Yep.
around the world.
And perks. A lot of perks.
Wherever you see the US military, your dad can actually drive there, show his or her, or show his or your mom her ID card, and they'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, thank you. It's their right. And say,
Yeah.
hey, we just want to see. It's their right. So some of these benefits, most of our brothers, sisters who think they have passed the age, your kids can still join and they'll still make you proud.
Yeah. This is again, what actually one of the reasons you're here today is because when we met at Chelsea's wedding in California, shout out to 124. I see they
Yeah.
are in here. Big shout out to you, it's crew 124 crew. Shout out to you. So at that wedding, I was talking to you about this whole military thing, and the question I had for you there was, a lot of people feel like joining the military only means you're going for combat. It's war, right? And I wanted you to come then and talk to us about, hey, this military thing, most people, if you pick up an average Cameroonian and you talk to them about the military, they'll tell you, oh, someone actually told me that, hey, they don't have a body that is built to fight war. Oh, I know one go me war. Small time they'll send me for Iraq. Oh, small time they'll send me for all these places, right? That is real. That is the mentality of an average Cameroonian kid that gets into the US. And so, if you don't mind to just talk to us a little bit again, I know there is a lot.
There is a lot. We actually have more
Talk a
than
little
a
bit about that.
hundred. We actually have more than 100 different types of jobs.
Yeah.
And the first thing is that people do not understand. As a U.S. military, the Marines, the Air Force, the Army, the Navy. I'll talk about the Army where I used to serve. I'm not
Mhm.
allowed to carry guns around. This is not Cameroon. You know, it's a system. I'm not allowed. I'm there to defend the territory of the United States. I can remember during when I was serving, during President Trump's reign, my unit was sent to California to start protecting the border. We are not going there to shoot people. Though I'll have my weapon, I'm there to defend in case there's anything. But we were helping pregnant women, children who want to cross. Though we don't want you to cross, we cannot shoot you.
Yeah.
We cross you over and give you water to drink,
Mhm.
give you food, you know. So coming back to the jobs, um, me personally, I will give you a funny story. My recruiter, we went to when I was in his office, he was like, but based on your scores, we have something they call the ASVAB score. So based on your score, these are the jobs good for you. With my finance background, accounting background, like I need an accounting job. Man, you are not a citizen yet. So you
Mm.
need clearance. You don't have any clearance. You can so there is logistics. I'm like, okay, I'll get the logistics job. In his office, I did all the paperwork, signed, but that is not binding. We have what they call the MEPS. The MEPS
Mhm.
is a final unit where you go and sign a contract and you swear, you take that oath
The
of
oath.
allegiance.
Mhm.
While in MEPS, they'll have to test you again to verify that you had this score. I performed better.
Mm.
And I was called. They were like, okay, this is you still have this job available for you, um, and you have to ship on this date. Something came to mind, and I was like, they say America is now honey, place of honey, milk and honey, opportunities. Then I said, hey, uh, excuse me, yeah, that he was a civilian. Excuse me, sir. Which other jobs do you have? The guy was going automated this, truck driving, this, combat engineer, combat medics. Then, unfortunately for him, the guy said, Black Hawk helicopter. I said, I want that job. I want that job. Black Hawk, hey, helicopter, a corner boy. I want that job. I didn't know I was killing myself. Black Hawk, I want that job. I knew that, hey, mommy had the fly plane outside, helicopter
Oh, the
outside.
helicopter. Are you there inside?
So he was like, "Are you sure you need this job? It's a hands-on job."
Mhm.
I'm like, "I want the job. It's an opportunity for me to learn something else." So it was an I wanted to get another experience.
Mhm.
So Then my recruiter, when I went, I asked him, I asked the guy at MEPS, can I talk to my recruiter? He was like, yes. So the friend who encouraged me to who assisted me, Max, is in Maryland. Hey, my military journey will never have been successful without Max. So Max, I called Max, Emia, bro, how? Fine. I need to take that logistics job again. Oh. Master Valery, you like complication. Take that job. I'm like, Max, they don't say helicopter. Max said that job will pass you. Oh. I said, no, Max, that
Black
challenge.
Hawk.
I need it here. Max said, okay, pa. Now you know, you be man pikin. I called my recruiter. My recruiter was like, man, you have a good ASVAB score. Why will you go for a Black Hawk helicopter? I'm like, hey, I just need a new experience. So I asked him. He said, anyway, the military will train you. The military will give you everything you need to prep you to become a Black Hawk helicopter engineer. I'm like, okay, great. I went back to the office. The guy was like, did you, he saw my countenance. Did you change your mind? Hell no, I'm signing that paper. I signed. So, coming to your question, there are 101, more than 101 different jobs in the military.
American.
11 Bravo jobs, which we, um, you know, I 11 Bravo is the infantry. That's their job. They are being trained to kill. It's their job. So those who go for war, it's their job. You cannot be sorry for them. You know,
Mhm.
we protect everybody. Let me not say we cannot be sorry for them. I take that back. Sorry. We cannot, I cannot you cannot say you want to sign for a job and they'll send you to go and fight.
To go
You
and
know,
fight, yeah.
it
Okay.
it happens. It happens that situation may occur. Like when
Mm-hmm.
we are doing our combat tactics trainings, I am a gunner, for instance, with on a Black Hawk, and we go and drop these our 91 Bravo guys. We have to come and pick them up. So if we come and we are being ambushed,
You
hey,
have to
I have to
fight
be
back.
ready. I have to fight back. So
Mm-hmm.
as a gunner on the Black Hawk helicopter, I'm always ready. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so for you to say that the military is risky, first I'll tell you it's not risky
Mm-hmm.
because you are well trained. Even those going to for the kill, they are well trained.
Trying to
All
do.
Americans have to come back. We all come back. It is rare. I've not said it doesn't happen. It is rare to know to hear that a company went for a war and a lot has been killed. No, one or two casualties may occur, but
Just as
is
in any other career.
in any other country. But
Yeah.
again, there are different jobs you can like I am retired. My wife said, "Hey, I want to serve," and my wife is in. My wife is a chaplain assistant. So she is there to give moral support to soldiers. Those who, if you are facing, if you're emotionally down, you are mentally down, you go to her. She is always there. At times, I'll just see her say, "I have to drive 2 hours to go and pick food." You know, it's her job. She has
Mm-hmm.
chosen her path. You come, you write the ASVAB. There is a list of jobs opening for you based
Mm-hmm.
on your performance. There is a wide list of jobs based on your performance. You can take the choose what you want, and you take it from there. So everybody who gets into the military has a specific job. This is
Mm-hmm.
what happens. We all, everybody, once you're an enlisted soldier, you go for a 3 months training. And that
Mm-hmm.
3 months training is converting you from a
A
civilian
civilian
to
to
a soldier. I
yes.
remember my first night at Fort Benning. I'm not sure how it's called now. Most of the military base, their names have been changed. So Fort Benning is a military base for infantries
Mm-hmm.
at my time. I think they are still for infantries. So I didn't have any drill sergeant who is a female. I didn't have any soldier by me who is a female. 3 months, I remember a friend was like, man, even in church, you will not even see a lady. You know, it's depressed. It's like we are in Sase again.
Hmm.
And you want to, so the first day we saw, I think one lady, we're like, what are you doing here? And she was like, I mistakenly choose the infantry job. Hey, you choose it. That's why you're here. You know, yeah. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I love when you share again. Thank you for sharing. I told you that this was going to be freestyle. We're just going to talk about anything that comes to your head, and I'm happy that we're running it this way. One thing I want to piggyback on a little bit on something you said earlier on when you came in with your family and you had to go for training. You said you had to put your wife back on a plane to Cameroon while you trained. Then she came back to meet you. Did I get that right?
Yes, yes,
Wow.
correct.
You know why I'm saying that? Because that is, I would say it's a very brave, it's a very brave move to make, both for you and your wife and your kid then. And sometimes when people say, hey, we don't go America, we do America, people forget to understand that there are challenges in this country, especially for starters. That's why when you talk about if someone, for those who come to the US via the DV lottery, I don't know if other people that come through other ways, they can join the military like that. I don't know that. I don't have that information. But let's talk about
The,
DV
the, the,
lottery.
those who, if you come through the back door, you come
Mhm.
first. I will first of all say, from the stories I've been hearing, I will not encourage anyone to go through Mexico. My own younger brother passed there. Only when he was around, he was like, "Hey, bro, are they around?" No. What? He said he didn't want to tell me because he knows I will call a family meeting. I'm like, that road is deadly. Though
It's
people
really
succeed, but hey, the best thing is just wait. October, September, October, the window opens. Play your lottery. In May, the results are out. You could be selected. You could win. But again, for you to join the military, you must be a green card holder.
a green card holder. Okay,
You
that's what
can
I
you
was.
can you can. I know before I came in, we had something they call the Marvin program. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was the name, and
Mhm.
it was instituted by President Obama. If you
Mhm.
came to the US with as a student,
Yeah,
the Marvin program could allow you to join the military.
the
You
military.
know, and it just transforms you directly to become a citizen.
Yes. Okay.
This citizenship thing, let me just say, I I I I I didn't stay in the US for up to, I don't know how people stay. If you have a green card, why will you stay in the US for up to a year before you become a citizen? When you
Because
have a
some
short
people don't
term.
want to become citizens. Some people want to run for presidency in Cameroon, and because Cameroon has not
No,
accepted dual citizenship.
no, I'm talking about those of us who have that mindset, the American dream to live it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So get this. If you win the lottery, you get into the US, it takes you 5 years
Yeah.
to become a citizen, right? You have to file, you have to do all the paperwork, you have
Mhm.
to pay money, and then you go for an interview. Guess what? I came in September. In April, I joined the military, went to the for training.
Training. Mhm.
On April, May, June, I graduated training on June 29. On June 28th, there was a letter that came in, and they were like, "You need to swear in."
Mhm.
Swear in what? They say, "Hey, you are now a US citizen." So there is that shortcut. And there are a lot of things which you cannot do in the US if you are not a citizen. You
Yeah,
agree, right?
a lot. I
Um,
will agree on that.
Good. So the military is another very short cut for you to become a citizen. I
Mhm.
know that President Obama was very keen and focused on this, that you cannot serve the US military without being a citizen. So once you get in, by the time you get out, you must get out as a citizen. So even if you go and write that exam, they will tell you you have to repeat it. But in a civilian world, once you have failed, you have failed, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
You for your house. You have to start getting another interview date for you to come and write.
Yep.
But hey, the military will tell you you need to write, you must pass it. So, and then the opportunities are there. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
start. I remember when I graduated in June, then I had to go for my second training. I'm sure that's not what I've said. So there are two trainings. The first training, the basic training, where everybody is transformed to become a soldier from the
Mm-hmm.
civilian world. Then we have your on-the-job training. If you want to be a nurse and you were a mechanic in Cameroon, you were a whoever, an accountant, they will
Mm-hmm.
send you to the school, college that trains nurses. I
Yep.
went to Fort, and it depends on your job. So those want to be like me, the Black Hawk helicopter mechanic guys. We they we have 6 months training, and it's in the aviation university, the military aviation university in Virginia. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
stay there for 6 months and you train. So the second training, which is on the job training, depends. The duration depends on how technical your field is. There are some trainings that will last just 18 months. There are
Mm-hmm.
others that will last for 24 months. There are others that last for a year plus. Mine lasted for 6 months. So after that training, you have a lot of things to do as well. You do your sports, do your exams, then you can graduate. If not, they do what they call the recycle you. You fail.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And again, if you just joined us, thank you for joining us. Please kindly share the video and hey, follow You Can Be Anything podcast. And as you can see, I'm here chatting with Etia, and if I can say Valery, but I normally will call him Valery, but he wants me to call him Valery, chatting with Valery. And again, the things we're talking about, this is about information, right? This is about knowledge. It's about, there is one thing that you have said, Paitia, that again, it cannot get off my brain. It's that whole factor for those who want to serve, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I keep reiterating that, it might sound repetitive to someone, is because some people will come and say, hey, this is not what I want to do, but that's not what I want to do. But at the same time, I wanted you to point out the perks that comes with being in the military. And sometimes it's because people do not know. Sometimes people will not do these things. It's just because they're not even aware. It took me a while to even know that apart from being a soldier and going to war, there are you can join the military and be an infirmarian, as you just mentioned, and do other things. I didn't know that. And that's why we're having conversations like this, right? Joining the military doesn't necessarily mean you have to be at war, shooting guns at war, not necessarily. And those are the clarifications, some of the clarifications that, again, I wanted to use this opportunity to put out there for those who have doubts. And you made mention of camp. Last week when I talked to Colin Sakwe, he mentioned camp as well. So this is
Colin Sakwe is our board chairman.
Yes, that is, I can call him Colin Sakwe. That is Captain Colin Sakwe. And because he'll be like, hey, drop the captain. But amazing, man. I spoke to him last week and I was like, wow, this is great. And he made mention of camp and how this camp is helping young people or people who are coming into the US and want to join the military, and you're supporting them and just making sure that they have the information they need to do what they want to do. So I really appreciate that you people make the time to come sit out and use platforms like this to talk about things like this, because sometimes when people come up, when people watch videos, they're like, oh, not everybody must be in the military. We are not recruiting people for the military. We are putting it out there. Like, this is information that you might not know, but it's nice to know. If you don't want to do it, you might know someone who is interested in doing it. Just like Valery, he before he left Cameroon, he already knew he wanted to be in the military. That's the same thing Captain Colin Sakwe told me last week. So some people already want to do this. And sometimes when they come in, they don't know this information. They do not know. And that's why we use platforms like this to put this information out there. We've been talking about the military for 45 minutes now, but Valery is not only about military. This guy, apart from being a veteran, and again, I should have started this by telling you, thank you for your service, right? Thank you for your
You are
service.
welcome. Thank you for your support.
I am not an American citizen, but America is serving me. And so America is protecting me, it's providing for me. So I stand the grounds to tell you thank you for your service. Get it? And please, the perks that come with this military thing, you cannot underestimate it. Quick story. I always share this story about the military. I dated an Air Force guy when I came to the US. And this guy was in the military, Air Force. I think he's there part-time, something. He's still there. But when I joined the tech world, this guy is a veteran. I had my first Salesforce job. For those of you who know me, I am a Salesforce junkie. I had my first Salesforce job, and I was talking to him about Salesforce. He was like, hey, he was an accountant as well in Maryland, HOA. He worked as an accountant. He was like, yeah, I want to know about this Salesforce thing. And I was like, yeah, of course, I can teach you Salesforce, or at least show you how you can learn Salesforce. Very librarian guy, very like somebody that is hungry for knowledge, right? He decided to get into it. By the time I got my first Salesforce job, I was getting paid about $65,000. 4 to 5 months after this guy learned Salesforce, he landed a Salesforce job as a veteran for $120,000. See, I almost cried. Cried in the sense that I'm like, I taught you Salesforce and you are making double what these guys are paying me. These are the perks. These are some of the things.
That's what it is.
These are some of the things, right? And it's amazing. And that was my experience with someone that used his veteran status to his advantage, right? They looked for him. The moment he put it on his Salesforce has a trail veteran group. The moment he put it on there that he was ready to get a job, man, these companies came for him. And I was still interviewing like 100 interviews to get a job, but they came for him. That is because he had the clearance. He is like, there are perks that come with these things that sometimes just we talk about them, not because again, I was not an immediate beneficiary, but I saw someone who benefited from it due to that. So again, this is just knowledge we are sharing. Sorry, I was you wanted to share something, Valery.
Yeah, no, I was saying some of these things are statutory. Mm-hmm. And you go in most of the applications, they'll ask you, have you served in the military? Mm-hmm. Once you say no, and you have a PhD in that field, 15 years experience, and Valery has a bachelor's,
and says yes,
with 2 years military experience, 0 years on the job experience. Hey, guess what? I am 30 points ahead of you. There's no joke about it. Mm-hmm. I'm 30 points ahead of you. It's just it. So, like I said, there are many families here. I'm talking about the Americans. Mm-hmm. If you go to every home, you must
have at least one person in them.
But when we come from Cameroon, from other parts, we are coming for the money. We forget the perks we are talking about. Mm-hmm. Once you join the military, yeah, we are not paid that much. We are not paid. It's services rendered.
It's service, yeah.
But when it comes to those advantages, we are there. Mm-hmm. There's someone called and was like, hey, Valery, can I have some of those your military flights? I'm not flying with you, so you cannot benefit from it. But if I'm flying with you, I can call them like, hey, I need a military fare. Of course, they understand that we don't have that much money. And I'll be like, okay, this flight is $500 to Cali. Our military fare is like $230. Does this time match for you? Oh, great. Make sure you have your military ID card. That's it. So there are a lot of these benefits. Again, immigration. Once you put in your I-30 and it starts delaying, you're filing for somebody. We have a direct military line. We have the
And the
direct
perks are
military
there.
line. You call the line and you introduce yourself. My name is SPC Bar. I serve here. I want to know what's going on with this document. Sorry, sir. Let's handle this. Almost all the bases have immigration services. If you
Mm-hmm.
go, you need anything, it's free of charge. But trust me, if you are a civilian, you go to the civilian world to get an immigration lawyer, you'll be spending a lot of money.
Yep.
Even at the airport, at times, I told my wife once her service is over, I go me back to Texas. I drove my car to in Texas. My wife will never drop me off. So some of these things are state benefits. Again,
Mm-hmm.
in Texas, here in North Carolina, my wife has to drop me off and take the car back. But in Texas, I don't care. I've gone to Cameroon for 3 months. I drive my car, drop it there at DFW, take my flight. Hey, I come back, and they're like, I give my ticket. That lady was like, "Come on, why did you stay this long? You have to pay 3,005." I was smiling and I was like, I'm a veteran, man. She was like, God damn it, you are using your benefits. And that was zero.
Mm-hmm.
And of
Zeroed
course,
out.
she had to say, thank you for your service. Hey, thank you for your support. And that thing was open and I had to drive through.
Drive through.
So there are some of these things which you will not get it. No
Yep.
matter how much you make, the hundreds of thousands, without that military benefit, that 3,000 francs will hurt you.
Of course.
It will
Of
hurt you
course.
somewhere.
Of course.
And my
Of
dad was
course.
like, Valerie, where did you? I'm like, Dad, I did not pay. I have
Mhm.
served. The other day
That's
dad wanted to. I said, Daddy, drive this car. It has a military tag on it. Drive it, go and park it in the airport. I've worked for you. I've worked for the family. Drive the car, go there. It's your right.
yeah.
We then not, Daddy, drive the car, go and park it there. Go to the most expensive one, the one that you just leave the airport, and you see a motor, so drive
I
and go
used the closest parking to the
to the gate. And that's where I park. I've worked for it. I've
yeah.
served. I've worked for it. I'm not
Yeah.
begging it. I'm
Yeah.
not.
And
So
those are things that we
these
have to
perks are,
use.
yes. And hey, people do not understand. You know how much it costs to bear a child here in this country. You know how
Mm-hmm.
much it costs for you to have medical insurance in this
Yeah.
country. But all those things are factored. It doesn't matter the number of times you go to for your medical checkup. Hey, the military got you covered.
Oh
TRICARE
yeah.
is there. I am not even I'm retired. But the military still takes the veteran affairs.
Yeah. I
After
was
your
too.
military service, there is what we call the veteran affairs. The veteran
Mm-hmm.
affairs takes care of you. They keep taking care of you. Even if you just serve and leave, everybody who serves is a veteran.
So long as you
After
have
that, they
served.
give you go and you have your heart rate checked. You whatever you want to do with yourself. So those advantages are there. We cannot list them all. You want to talk
Yeah.
about school?
Yeah.
While on
You,
the job,
you
there are
can go
many
to
people
school.
who earn degrees while working. If you do not know, hey, I remember in my company, my commander told me, Valerie, if you do not earn a degree while you are here, no, I'll give you a counseling. They encourage you to go to school. The military encourages you because we need that knowledge to come and improve the services of the military.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Mm-hmm.
military is willing to pay. The
Yep.
military pays.
God.
The military, once your husband is in the military or your wife, we have what we call what's that thing called? Is it my wife is downstairs. She would have assisted me. But the military gives you you can go to tuition assistant. You as a spouse, you can go to school. The military pays.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Texas, and by then I think we just had a third, and my daughter Cecile was not even of school age, and I was like, "Hey, I'm a veteran." They were like, "No." They first said there is no space, and then it will cost this much, pre-K and so on.
Okay, yeah.
Per week was like 1,000, if I'm not mistaken. It was $800 per week.
Yep.
We calculated. So how much will I be paying for my child's school?
For
Then when I
pre-K,
came back,
America.
I told the lady, do you know I'm a veteran? Why didn't you tell us?
How did you even expect her to know? Are you
Yeah, why
serious?
did you tell us? And I'm like, yeah, I have served this country. Oh, thank you for your service, sir.
Mhm.
And she was like, when do you want her to start school? Ma'am, now. Okay, she
Immediately.
has a space. But I'm telling you, as a civilian, my daughter wouldn't have gone to school at the age of 3. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, these are the perks we're talking about. These are things. And again, this is not only for people, this is not about people who want to join. This is also for people who are already there, because there are also people who are there, but they don't even know that they have
that's
these
true.
benefits. They are not using it that much, right? They are not using it, whether for school, even if we just gave the example for a job, when you're seeking a job, right? There's always something that people will there's always something that companies will look. Everybody wants to say, hey, my company represents, hey, my company hires.
Hires veterans.
Yeah.
My company, they will come and pay for that.
Yep,
They will
yep.
pay for
That
it.
one, I know for sure. Like the guy I just gave an example for, he was just amazing. He was deployed to Korea. South Korea was one of those Koreas, and he was still getting paid. Man, imagine that
It should
somebody
be
is
South
deployed for
Korea,
3 months, and he
not
is
North
still
Korea.
making. Sorry, excuse me. I take that back. He was deployed somewhere, and imagine that he's deployed to go protect or defend America somewhere, and he's still making this much money, and he's not in the office working, but he's still making this money, right?
Yeah,
So,
another thing people do not understand, since you brought that, I remember in 2017, while I was in service in Fort Bragg, there was this guy, I think he was a Gabonese or
mhm,
Gabonese. He used to work with Amazon. Then there's one day he came and was like, "Hey, bro, were you working before?" I say, "Yes." So, proud to join, what did you do? I'm like, "I terminated my contract." The guy said, "No,
mhm,
you don't terminate your contract." This is one thing people do not understand. You don't terminate your contract, you are going to serve.
yeah,
So Amazon is an example which I know that does it. He told Amazon, "I'm joining the military."
mhm.
What did Amazon tell him? If he earns like $10,000 a month working for Amazon,
You're
he
gonna
has the right every month, and he is being paid. The military pays him $3,000. He has the right to send that paycheck to Amazon, and
and Amazon
Amazon
will pay
tops
the
it up
difference.
to make sure that he still attains that level.
Yeah.
There are some companies that do that in this America.
Some
So
companies pay
you
100%, some pay a
yes,
percent. Just
yes. So there are companies that will match it up. There are companies that will just for you leaving uh, their their work site and serving the military. I don't know how
mhm.
they reconcile it. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
But as a soldier, I've seen soldiers benefiting from that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Again, this is good information. And if I would just ask this question first, it came up. When you talk of training, you said you did your first training, right, when you joined the military. Then you also had another 6 months training. If you have to put all the training that you did together, went on to become active, how long would you say it took you?
9 months.
9 months. Okay.
No, be careful. Before
Mm-hmm.
you join the military or before you join the army, you have options. Either
Mm-hmm.
you want to be a reservist
Yeah.
or you want to be a guard. I'll give the examples. I'll
Mm-hmm.
give the explanations. Or you want to be active. Now, people confuse and they say, "Hey, this." So a reservist, it means you go to training like every other person. Once your training is completed, you go back to your house. and the federal government takes care of you. You go to training once a month. I think the difference is that the federal government takes care of you. So,
Mm-hmm.
as a reservist, if there is the wildfire in California, you are stationed in Maryland, you can be sent there
To
to
California
do
too.
something. So
Mm-hmm.
you are a reservist.
Mm-hmm.
As a guard, National Guard, your state is in charge of you. So you go to training, your state has a budget for you. You go and do your training, you must pass, and you get out.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you come back, you keep doing your civilian jobs. Then you have to go for training every month, once, one weekend a month.
Mm-hmm.
Though there are some active National Guards or active guards, so that's something else. Then there is an active component. Who are the active component? My wife and I, like people say, we travel a lot. Tomorrow, if my wife goes to work on Monday, and there's an order that we are to go to Killeen in
You're
Texas,
gone.
we have to pack our bags and we go.
What do you put
It's
to
the
with the
same thing.
kids?
We have to go. It's the same
With the
thing when I
kids?
was in Virginia. Yes. Do you want my wife to go to serve somewhere and I cannot now. We are
I
there to
want to
support.
know.
The thing is, that's where the one Zulus come in, like my campus will say, the one Zulus. And I'm a proud one Zulu. That's where, and this is what people do not understand. Your wife serves, so you two are serving.
Yep,
Because your husband serves, you are
you're
serving.
serving.
The soldier needs all that support that you can provide for him or her. So the
Mm-hmm.
military makes sure that you two are protected, you are good.
Yeah.
If my wife, hey, there are decisions I can go to the military and take on behalf of my wife. Yes. So some of those things are things that we need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
If they move you, you move. If I will move with my wife anytime, any day. That's just it.
Awesome. See, we've been going, we should have made this into two. We've been talking about the whole, your American dream experience, and we've not even come to the core, right? So, hey, for those of you who have not shared this video yet, please share because we are switching gears. We are moving into one of the most exciting things that I think Valerie has done or is doing, right? And I want us to talk about this. So, hey, if you have not shared this video, this is time for you to click that share button. Let me call it button, right? It's time for you to click
Okay.
that share button, right? So that more people can come in and hear, hey, Valerie, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about HCAP, right? This guy here, apart from being serving in the American military, being an amazing father and husband and working together with his wife to do the things they have to do. This guy is also an entrepreneur, right? And so I want him to talk to us a little bit about his HCAP project. Valerie, the mic is yours. What is HCAP?
Yeah, HCAP. First, what made me to even come up with that idea? Traveling around in Bahrain, I think there is something called pickup, and I used it. It was good. In Dubai, I used it. In Europe, there's BlaBlaCar. When I think I left Darmstadt to Dusseldorf with BlaBlaCar, very efficient. You know, in the US, of course, there's Uber. In 2020, I traveled with my family, my wife and kids, to Cameroon for my wife's younger sister's wedding. And then I saw the difficulties of, mobility.
Movement.
But again, I think I had one or two family members who could assist. Fast forward when COVID hit, things became still. Then I nurtured the idea of creating a company. The company name is Hebron Global LLC. It is registered here in the US and registered in Cameroon. In 2021, I visited Cameroon. My Venza, I remember driving from Douala to Limbe, and I had a breakdown. after ride. Then I called my mechanic. I'm like, no, motor don't disappoint me. And I was like,
Mhm.
Patron, what's I did? I told him. He said, okay, I'm coming. I stayed at Rai for almost an hour trying to get a ride. For my security, for obvious reasons, what is going on, I prefer, I needed is a more secure ride. I cannot get into a bus. So I tried calling. I called. Can you pick me up? Hey, I'm at work. But it's something which I could just use my phone
Mhm.
and order a ride. Sometimes I call this man. You call the person. Patron, I no get AC in Douala. How can I get into a car without an AC? So there's this young man who came and picked me up. I think in West. I called him. I'm like, West, come, take me to Limbe. How much you pay? I said, West, just take me to Limbe. You get AC, I go try. We went to Limbe. When I came back, the dog brought me the car. But I could not order another ride to leave Limbe to Douala.
Back to
So I had to
Douala.
tell my mechanic to bring the car to Limbe. He
Mhm.
brought it. I drove that car. When I came back,
Mhm.
I I called two friends. I called Bertrand. He has been instrumental to this project. And I called Trisdom. Trisdom is based in the US and he's an accountant, he's a CPA. I called Trisdom. I said, Trisdom, I want to know the financial implications. I think that something I want to do something for Cameroon. You
Mhm.
know, this is my idea. And he was like, man, this thing will cost you. Then there's Carlson, my younger brother. This thing will cost you. But Carlson played the builder's role. Carlson, when you want to start construction now, your builder will say, Patron, just start. As you start,
Mhm.
it don't go. Patron, just start. No be back cement na 5,000. Carlson was like, it's a good idea, Val. Just start. Carl, how much will it cost me? Carl, that's what cost you maximum $25,000. I'm like, okay, let's look at it. My sister, if I knew. So in 2021, I did a registration here in the US. Of course,
Mhm.
it's a US Cameroon company. In
Yeah.
Cameroon, Bertrand was there assisting me, and then I gave Bertrand all that I described to him what I needed. So I needed to get those who can build the app. HCAP is the company first, Hebron Global LLC. I think that there is so much to be given back.
Mhm.
And we are not doing anything that is super new. If you look at our website, it is innovation and investment. So, investment, innovation. Whatever we are doing, people have done it, but we are coming to do it in a different style. There
Yeah.
are taxi drivers, there are Clando drivers,
Yep.
there are personal car owners, but HCAP is coming to give another touch
Another
at
experience, which is what we
another
want.
experience
Mhm.
at a very affordable price. HCAP, we have since 2021 when I started this project, HCAP has been I have been to Cameroon quite a bit,
Mhm.
and at times when I go to Cameroon, I just want to I just want to experience to get the common man's experience.
Yep.
You know, once I land in Cameroon, I'm like, okay, if I had ordered a ride, what will it cost me? If
Mhm.
I had, so I'll start getting some of those rides. I'll start getting some of those airport rides. Then as I'm talking to them, at times when if I'm really tired, I have to call my younger brother Carl. Hey, can you pick me up? So research and development, since 2021, the app is there. But again, last year the app was ready. I'm like, no, there is some other thing. My developers, first of all, are from India, and bringing them to the Cameroon perspective
Yeah,
is difficult,
it's a challenge.
and it's a very big challenge. And many people have asked me, how does Cameroon have GPS?
That was my conversation with you. Like, how are you going to do
Does
this
Cameroon
job
have GPS?
thing?
Since 2021, I think we have been paying Google, and we have the geolocation is wonderful. I
Cameroon
think,
geolocation.
yeah, it's wonderful. The bad thing is, what we do not understand is, we want to compare Cameroon and America.
Maybe
We want
that's
to
a
compare
problem.
Cameroon. It's a big problem. I will tell you, in 20, I don't know if it's 2019, 2020, the first time I went to Canada, I took my flight to Buffalo, then got a rental car. That's still in the US, in New York.
Buffalo, New York.
I drove. No, that was in 2021. I was trying to explain something. I drove from Buffalo to Toronto. 10 minutes into that ride, it was a border. Guess what? This way, we are dealing in miles. Once I crossed the border, it was kilometer.
Kilometers.
Everything changed. So we need to stop comparing that. The expectations are really too high. Then when I
Mm-hmm.
went there, I'm like, hey, guys, send me your address. He sends me his address. It is completely different from how we
The
send
American
addresses in the
experience.
US. But
Mm-hmm.
most of us are expecting that Cameroon should have, like what Nigeria has, house number,
We
these
don't have
location.
that
Yeah, we do. But I'm saying, we need to start from
where
somewhere.
we are. Mm-hmm.
We need to start from somewhere. And I think that is my push. There are many times I have sat, slept, and I'm like, I can give up. But I had to keep going. I had to keep going. There are days I'm not eating because of this project. But you just have to keep going.
Hey,
Um,
Valerie, wait, before you go forward to talk, even I want you to just give us a synopsis. What is HCAP about even? So if somebody is watching us, is listening to us now, and I just want to know what problem are you solving and what is this solution going to do in Cameroon and in the US? I know it is an American Cameroon company. Just for the people that are watching us to understand, like, hey, what is HCAP in the first place? What's the problem, and how are you solving it, or how are you looking to solve it?
Age cap. Somebody will ask why age cap. The first thing
Mhm.
is age. The A stands for Hebron.
Hebron. Mhm.
Hebron cap. So if you look at our logo, we have reliability, security, and comfort.
Mhm.
So we are trying to solve. We want to assist in decongesting the streets.
Mhm.
Do you know how? I'm not sure you feel safe if you have to be put in the daylight, maybe it's 12 noon around Rome Point Douala. Can you walk that street? It's dangerous. So there is a lot going on. We cannot hide it. There's a lot going on. At HCAP, we believe that the HCAP service will come to provide a more comfortable, a more reliable, secured ride. We want
Mhm.
to, I know there is a Yango, but there is a lot going on. We have done all those feasibility studies. We are coming with HCAP, and the security there is top notch. This is what happens. Hebron Global does not own cars. I want to put it out there. It is
Oh.
it is the Uber concept. We have provided that platform for drivers to come, passengers to come and meet.
Mhm.
So if you are a car owner, you simply need to go to the App Store or Google Play Store. You download your app and you register yourself. Now, this is it. This is where HCAP is different from every other person. As a driver, there is first. is 72 hours wait for us to verify all your information.
Mm-hmm.
So we require you to put in your vehicle information and take a picture of your vehicle registration. You have to put in your driver license information. You take a picture of it. Your insurance information. You take a picture of it. Your visit technique. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
it is not for everybody. I cannot get all the markets in Cameroon.
Of
So
course
for
not.
those whose security matters, comfort matters, they'll use HCAP. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the sky is too big, but you never hear that two planes have collided. But there are
Yeah.
many airlines out there. So if you think that is cumbersome for you to drive with HCAP, hey, we have our policy, and we have zero tolerance policy and the driver's policy. Our
Mm-hmm.
driver's policy, the drivers, one, you have to be polite. Two, you have to be helpful. Three, you have to be clean. Four, your car has to be
To
neat.
be
No
clean.
smoking. For the zero tolerance policy, once you are going through our app to register yourself, it is there to sign the terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
No overtaking, no, talking on the phone. No. So some of those things are there. For your security, we have ordered already 1,000 cameras.
For the
1,000
car.
cameras that will be installed in the cars. If you register your car, you bring your car to us, we'll take an appointment, we install your car, make sure that you have your camera set up. Once you are in a ride, or once you start a ride, your camera must be on. It goes on
Mm-hmm.
automatically. We have, I will not disclose where the driver's panic button is
You
for
don't need
security
to.
reasons.
Yeah.
But for passengers, you have what we call the panic button. If
On your
you
app.
think that the driver is taking you to another route, on your app, you just need to click on the panic button. Once you click on it, it alerts us in the office that this passenger is in trouble. Let me finish with the drivers. Since it's a, since it's a navigation based application, we have ordered 1,000 phone holders as well. Our drivers, once you see any driver driving and holding their phone and doing this, you have the right to report that driver to us immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Is your car? Yes, but the service is ours.
Mm-hmm.
The service is ours. So once we get a lot of these reports, one report, two complaints, we call your attention to it. If you keep going, we take you out of our community,
The service, yeah.
and that will keep you right up to 6 months before we can accept you
Before you
again.
can reapply.
You can
Mm-hmm.
reapply. So that's for the drivers. We have, you will not see like the others that have written right big, something very big on their cars. No, with HCAP we have customized signs. It will be on the dashboard. Once you pull up, you as a driver, you'll be able to verify the picture of
Of the
your from
person, the
the phone
passenger.
of your
Mm-hmm.
passenger. Hey, are
Mm-hmm.
you Valerie? Okay, can you confirm your pickup, your drop-off point? All right, I can start my ride. Now, the passengers, or we call them the users, you are
User.
authorized to start using the app immediately you log in, or you create an account. Drivers, you have 72 hours. We are not compromising on it. You have 72 hours for you to gain access. Again, after 8 hours per day that you have been
You've
driving,
been driving, you switch it off.
the app automatically switches you off. After that ride, you need to rest. Security, security, security. We must start from somewhere. Hey, you let me tell you, last month, no, 2 months ago, I was in Abidjan for the World Cup. I will tell you that what I saw in Abidjan is something to write home about. Listen to me. Call me anywhere. Call me anywhere. And if I have the opportunity to meet with him, the honorable minister of transport I will talk to him. We I know we cannot get there today, but there is a starting point. People do not respect traffic lights. In Abidjan, you cannot try it. I'm telling you, call me anywhere. There you will not see police people standing around. No. But I'm telling you that those guys are respectful. You come to a stoplight, hey, monsieur. I'm like, why don't you just go? You know, I was teasing this guy. You're like, no, monsieur, over my chapeau de main. There are cameras everywhere.
Cameras everywhere.
There are cameras everywhere. The ride service in Abidjan, in Cote d'Ivoire, top notch. I'm telling you.
Nice.
So we can get there. If once we identify those loopholes, you see a uniform person around Carrefour Mabanda Cimetière trying to do traffic, bike people will just be going. You know, we cannot grow with such mentalities. You know, we need to change. So these things are some of the things which, as much as there's a red light and you are an H-cab driver, you are not authorized to cross.
To drive past.
You are not authorized. Once you do it, your client has a right to do that review or report. You know, so I just wanted to put that out there for the drive for our users, the passengers. You sign up. You have 30 days. We have given 30 days for you to put your ID card. You may be in an emergency situation and you need a ride. Hey, we give you up to 30 days. But after that, we need to know you to protect our drivers as well.
Yep. Very important.
So your ID card has to be there. Your picture has to be there. Once you order a ride, you see how the ride comes. You can identify your driver. You get in. During your ride, once you finish or you conclude your ride, you can pay. We are going cashless. If you want to give tips.
Are you considering using Bitcoin at some point to pay?
For now, my finance team will advise me on how to go about that. But for now, we can use, we are using all the payment platforms in Cameroon. Momo, Orange Money, there's Cantel something. Those have been implemented already. And you can pay with your card. Those who have bank accounts, cards, you can pay from here. So it is, we have made in such a way that it is user friendly and adapting to the new the new age.
Yeah. When you said there's something you said that it made I giggled because I'm a victim of that. I tried to cheat the system. And again, I'm happy that people are putting that kind of thing into place. Why? Because when you hustle for the life, no, sometimes in the way you try for cut road to get it. I remember when I was in California, I was an Uber driver. I drove Uber for like 9 months. And I would try to cheat the system.
We all did in this country.
We all did, right? Hey, man, I did Uber in San Francisco. Again, my people there, they know. And sometimes I will stop at their places to catch a nap before I continue, right? Yeah. And, I tried to cheat the system because Uber would do that same thing. They would turn your app off after a certain number of hours. So that made me to go register at Lyft as well.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
So when they turn off my Uber, I turn on my Lyft. Man, I needed the money. I had to survive. I needed the money. And I'm like, hey, I can work 16 hours. Why are you people limiting me to 8 hours, right? So I used to cheat the system.
It's for security.
And we all cheat the system.
If anything happens to you after that, it's
and they make you sign those things, right? So it was funny when you said it. I was laughing because I know that I used to cheat the system, even though they're doing it for my own good. But I think that is great.
Man, you just mentioned something. You drove Uber. One thing which we are encouraging, I should be having a meeting with at the Ministry of Women Empowerment and the Family sometime. We are encouraging ladies to drive.
Oh yeah, what's a
People do
fun
not
experience.
understand, in Cameroon especially, people do not understand that there is honor in driving.
I love it.
People do not understand that there are many families in this America that make their living through Uber.
Mhm.
People do
I
not
did.
understand that for you to be nice, your tips can even be better than your pay.
Of course.
So there are some of those things. I know it's not easy. We'll get there. We'll try to talk to the. We'll be organizing some conferences for our
Mm-hmm.
drivers so that they understand. Don't come and say this ride is 5,000 francs. Wait till the man will give me. Be careful. This guy might have had a very terrible day at his work site, and just you maybe having a nice sound, music playing, or
Just,
having a calm environment, or having a friendly discussion
just your
will
aura.
earn more.
Just a beautiful, peaceful aura.
I'm
Man,
telling you.
I've gotten tips in this country. Like I've received tips in America, both as a server and as an Uber driver. So those are things that I have experienced a lot. And I don't joke with being nice. You get it? I
Correct.
don't joke with being
Yeah,
nice. Being
yeah,
nice.
that's something which in Cameroon, I think like I said, is something which has been instilled in them. Is
Mhm.
stress. I understand it. You say good morning, tu me salues pourquoi? Je suis
Yeah.
ton père. You know, is but
I love it.
again, we the reason why we have left the country is not to come back and mock those who are still there, is to come and better their own situation.
Yep.
Let me just say this, and it's a life story. When I started this, my wife was like, so because all my money was going towards it,
Big investment, right?
all the money is going towards it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about dollars. We are at hundreds of dollars. So, and there's construction site we had in Limbe, I had to pause it. And I'm like, hey, this is the best thing I can give back to my community. If I want to build a house, I'll be earning rent. It's for me. How have I changed the community? Mind you that it I really thank God for my wife as well. It has not been easy with her. I remember in November, I was in Cameroon. I spent like 10 days, and I went to Yaoundé, dropped my documents. I dropped, I think that was the time I finally dropped those documents. I've been going back and forth with the ministry. We are
Mm-hmm.
100% authorized. Let's get that. Remember last year when you told me, Valery, I want you to come and talk. I don't want to come and talk when I'm still hanging. Now I can freely tell you, come and challenge me. I am authorized 100%. I can do a lot with my authorization and my license.
Yeah.
So we deserve it. I can talk with all confidence now. But as at last year, what am I talking about? There's nothing I can talk about. It's the same. Now I can say, hey, I'm open. You want to share my idea? Come, let's talk. But
Yeah.
before I will tell you, no, allow it. And suppose say you want to go alone. I don't want to go alone.
Mm-hmm.
So in November, I went, deposited the documents, and I flew back. I came back, I think it was the 29th of November. By the 3rd, I
We're
got a
going back.
call. Monsieur, on ne voit pas votre dossier.
Well,
I had to, yeah, because whoever was in charge, I did not. It's me. It's not the
it's not
ministry.
them.
Many people
Okay.
are there. It's me. He told me what to do. I was thinking about me rushing to submit those documents and coming back. Then, of course, please, I gave this person my document. Can you? But he too is busy, so he's the one. On the Voapa, I had on that third, I had to book a flight for the fourth, and I was in Cameroon on the fifth. And he was like, "No," I said, "Hey, this is my world. After my wife, my kids, the next thing I dream
Maybe
about is H cap."
H cap.
Yeah, so the
Shuffle.
next thing I dream about is H cap. When the authorization came out, thank God, it's difficult. Women, you guys, it's not easy. But when it came out last month, and she was like, "There I come on, go again when." My wife, I will not go anytime soon. I'm still with you.
Saturday, here now, don't worry, he's not going anytime soon. But it's beautiful to see that this project is coming to fruition for real. It is beautiful to see.
I can relax now. I'm relaxing now because we have succeeded in forming a strong team.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, I think this is an opportunity for me to recognize my team,
Of course.
my staff. I have a great guy, Brandon, and I called him at midnight. Once I heard that I got a call. When I asked, but what's wrong? The minister has not signed. Monsieur, votre autorisation est déjà là. And I called Brandon. Brandon, you are in Yaoundé the next day to get this. Then he said, "Hey, Roger, that's so." I called, can my IT director pick it up? And he was like, "Okay, yeah, just give us a name." "Oh, you know him." He went there, picked it up. So it's by the grace of God, it has not been easy. I will tell you that my employee rate or turnover rate has been high. And when I started, I said I will hire and fire until I get the right mindset. And again, the doors are always open for my past employees because I think that during the really hustle time, they were there. So don't get me wrong, they are not bad. It's just
But
that
not everybody can stand the
understand.
stress. Yeah.
There is a time I went to Cameroon and nobody knew I was coming. And the first time I stayed there for 1 week, and one of the staff, he heard that I'm around, and he came. I saw him. Monsieur, mon enfant, monsieur. No, I said, "Hey, just go to finance, sign, right. I don't want to dismiss you. I want you to,
take a
you
leave.
say you want to leave. So I'm not dismissing you. You leave, go to finance, let them pay your money." They paid. I have not seen. So if I didn't do that, I would have been at this
Where
stage.
you are today. Mm-hmm.
And I tell them all the time, I tell my staff, I may hire you today. If you do not show, there's one day Joan is my accountant. She was like, "Sir, we have not started." I said, "Okay, that's a mindset. You think that we are doing a joke here? Just take. We are not joking. Take your bag and you will leave." And she was like, "I did not understand. This is a company. We have invested a lot. You
Mm-hmm.
invest your time. You invest. So it's the mindset again. Like I said, the mindset of Cameroonians. Let me backdate us. The first time I went to Cameroon, after coming to the US, I called my dad and I told him the Valerie you used to know is not the same Valerie. So if I talk something you don't understand, ask again
Ask.
because I feel is the mindset. Don't think that I want to claim. No, no, far from it. It's the
Mm-hmm.
mindset. There are things which we have been doing here. I don't think that I can do that same thing. So I'm trying to work with the staff. We The good thing is I have had at this stage I've had a strong marketing team. Yeba is coming in for
Yeah.
he just saw me and he was like, "Hey, I have had great people from Sase, my classmates. I'll tell you, they are there. They told me, boss, it's not for the money. We like your idea. We want to support you. There are people who have just come. Melanie from Repacor, my classmate for you, she was like, Valerie, I really love what you do. How can I help?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Mel, I cannot pay you. Mel is like, Val, you are my brother. I just want to help. Okay,
Yep.
Mel, come in. She came in. Um, Toxic. Toxic is, I think you should know him, the entertainer. He's like, bro, this thing I cannot bypass it. He came in. So some of these guys, there is a Mosin, the movie. He came and like, boss,
Oh,
this
Derek
is a
Wilson. Mm-hmm.
oh, Derek was like, any visual, I am there,
That's
and this is how I want to support. Yes. So I cannot take all the praises. These are guys who have been doing a lot
yeah.
behind the scene. When I want anything wants to go out, I push it there. They have to censor it. Hey, boss,
Yeah.
don't you think that we should put it this way? Then the marketing team, the IT team, these guys work tirelessly. They work tirelessly. Brandon, I have like now I'm going out again for. They are the ones who started the professional internship, which
Mhm.
is a clear route to direct employment. Once you come in as my staff, I give you your route right up to
Yeah.
you becoming part of the company. At a
Mhm.
certain time, you have to become part of the company. I give you some shares. You know, as much as I pay you, you too can be. Once you know that you have some
Mhm.
of these shares, it gives you a lot of. So the thinking is different.
Yeah.
The thinking is different.
It's
Yes.
nice how you're introducing that mindset and you're getting in your own way into our Cameroonian community, right? Like back home. It's a beautiful mindset because that's not something that we are used to as Cameroonians, right? So, and I think it is a very, I love the approach that you're taking slowly, but you're instilling in them. And you talked about hire, you fire, right? Which means if your people are not, if they are not productive, if they are not doing what they have to do, you let them know, like, hey, this is not what you're here for. You give them, but you still give them a second chance. You don't just fire people. You fire people because they're not productive. And I think it's very beautiful. I see, Auntie B, I see you in the comments. There are people talking about waiting to use HCAP in Cameroon. Like,
Oh,
even
great.
Mr. Fashidon, right? I cannot wait, for real. And a lot of people will root for stuff like this because we all know how it can be. Being able to trust to say that, hey, I am calling a cab to pick me up from one place to another. And I love that you brought up that whole idea of women need to get into this. There is nothing wrong with a woman driving. I just
I
shared my little
guarantee
story.
you, the
That's my
ladies
Uber.
are coming to drive.
Yeah.
The ladies are coming to drive with HCAP. I guarantee you a life changer.
Yeah, it
I'm
is. It
telling
is
you.
beautiful. There is
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. I just shared my experience of being an Uber and Lyft driver in the US. It was good enough money to take care of my bills while I was studying. I was doing Uber, Lyft, and I was studying to do what I want to do today. So I really love that we are reiterating on this because sometimes we'll have our young girls in Cameroon. These are they are of age to get into jobs like this, but they will rather not because something in their head tells them that this is a man's job, right? That's one of the things I said in the Happy Women's Day message. There is nothing like a man's job when it comes to driving like this. We should be able to get into this and stay out of the trouble that our young girls are getting in today. So I really love that you're making it that friendly. You're taking security very important because some people will be worried about the security. I love that you're putting in that much effort to make sure that security is good. And one quick question I have for you: when how are the rides? Are they going to be city based or intercity?
All right. The authorization we got from the ministry
Mhm.
is to operate nationwide.
Nationwide, okay.
Um, we will not be spotted like others that is just Douala, is nationwide. We have a plan to make sure that this happens.
Mhm.
You This is it. I've witnessed firsthand how people suffer. You cannot, in this new age, you cannot fly in from wherever and you call your cousin from Bafusam
To
to
come
come
pick
and
you
pick
up.
you up. Whereas you could schedule a ride. Hey, this, let me just explain this. First, the rides. There are two kinds of rides. Or let me start with global. The right, first of all, is 100% bilingual. Francophones can use it, Anglophones can use it. Once
Mm-hmm.
you open the app, there is a language place there, English or French. Once you go
Yeah,
to English, is everything there is English. Once you go to French, it
it's
translates
translated.
everything to French. Okay. The next is you have to decide what kind of ride you want. Do you want to travel now or you want to schedule a ride? Those of us from abroad, you know that, hey, we already know that Brussels airline at 7 p.m. will land. You need to go through the security checks. You need to take your luggage. So you want to give like an hour
Yeah.
after. It's okay
Mm-hmm.
for you to request your ride from where you are. So and say I'll be landing in Douala. So I need a pickup at 8:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in Douala will accept your ride. And at 8:30 p.m., that guy will be there waiting for you. Where are you going to? You are going to Bafusam. The roads are risky. Yes, the government, we know that, okay, the roads are not, but what have we done? So the roads are risky. We need to be careful, take precaution. Telling your cousin, your brother, whoever, your dad to drive from Bafusam or
To
from
come pick you
Boya to
from the
come and pick
airport.
you up from the airport and taking you back. Whereas you could just sit and with a few tens of thousands, you have a secured ride that picks you up, takes you to Boya and come back, picks you up, takes you to Bafusam, wherever you want, Kongsaba, even in
Hmm.
Douala, and you come back. So that is it. That's the dynamics. We will be making a lot of, we'll be sensitizing the Cameroonian community about what we do a lot
Mhm.
once we start operations so that people can know how to manipulate the app here and there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
you can take a shared ride, which means that you want
Can
other
pick up
people to
another
share the
person.
ride with you, or you take a private ride. It's you alone, and you have the money to pay. You
Mhm.
know. Then we have different categories of cars. There are just three categories. So when it comes to the shared ride, there are it's either an economic ride, an economic ride, a classic ride, or a comfort ride. Economy ride will be the normal cars we have around. Then classic and comfort now determine the different kinds of cars. I'm telling you that we will vet those cars. It's not like the other people that you order for a VIP and a taxi is coming to pick you up.
And
Then for
A Corolla picks you up.
good. Then for the private ride, we have three different kinds of ride. For the private ride, we have taken off economy. So the private ride can be classic ride, a comfort ride, or a VIP.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
our VIP cars for a car to be accepted as a VIP is from a 2020 and above.
Wow.
We have put, yes, we are coming with standard class elegance.
Hmm.
All those have been put in place. I'm telling you that those who have cars that are worth the VIP ride, A,
You're
you
gonna
want to
make good
contact
money.
us, yes, we have a lot of business for you.
Wow.
Mhm.
But you see, you're hyping people up. Even me, I'm not even in Cameroon, but I'm already thinking of this. You're hyping people up. When should do you have go live dates? Let me call it that way. For
Yes,
each car yet.
we would have instructed the Cameroon balance that the president has instructed. So In my own world too, I should be the president, right? So I've instructed my team. We must go live in April, even
Yeah.
if it's just one car.
Yeah. But you
We
see how
must
it
go
works.
live in April. Please, those listening, those watching, we would encourage all your feedbacks, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
If
Very
we
important.
cannot, if you cannot give us these reviews, we cannot make the app more friendly, user friendly. We
Yeah.
cannot kick out the bad people in our midst. No matter what you want to say it, and be rest assured that we will get
You're
it sorted
listening.
out.
Mhm.
The truth is, we are not there 100% yet. I remember Leslie, one of my IT professional interns, was like, "Boss, we have been going back and forth." I'm like, Leslie, I'm trying to get to perfection. We cannot get there. So at this point, we are polishing. We are
Mhm.
encouraging. We have disabled people the registration process for now. We have disabled it. I think from the 1st of April, people you can download, but you cannot register.
Register.
From the
Mhm.
1st of April, I will still talk with the Indian guys when we'll be able to open it. From the 1st of April, for sure, you can download and register. For now, we are, like I said, we are polishing, making sure that
Mhm.
you can give us your comments. The comments come to us. You can actually see your driver. We are at that finishing stage.
Mhm.
But again, will never get there unless we have the comments, the critics of our users.
Yeah.
We need you to come and say, "Hey, this app is the worst app on earth." No problem. How do you want us to make it better? We are there for you.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and TB. So, can somebody, if I'm in the US, can I use? I think the answer to that should be yes, because you said if you're traveling, you can have your user account so that you can book a ride. But again, please go ahead and answer the question
Uh,
about being in the US
uh,
and having a user account for Cameroon.
yes, you can use it 100%. We
Hmm.
have tested. I had a few friends around the world, done in Dubai, in Germany, I think it was Nangi and so on. I was calling random friends.
You know.
I'm using your number to test the app, and many people gave me their numbers. And
Mhm.
hey, I'm receiving the code. I can sign up. I can order a ride. I can do this. So we have tested it. Like I said, it's a new service. It's heavy, and that is why you will notice that we have four. There are two separate apps. There is the driver's app and there's the
And the user
passenger's
account.
app or the user's app.
Mhm.
So if you do not own a car, there's no need for you to download
Have
a driver's app.
passenger, the
It will
driver's
not
app.
help
Yeah.
you. You will come and put in fake information. We will never accept you as a driver.
Mhm.
So don't waste your time that you can go and take somebody's information and put there. No. If you order a ride and you see a different car pulling up, don't enter. We are telling it is there. We'll sensitize our users. Don't enter. If you order a ride and the car is coming with a different driver, don't enter because all the driver's pictures will be there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand. And it's
Yeah.
okay for
Again.
you to just alert us and say, this is what is happening.
Well,
You will be able to download the app from the US. You'll be able to order those rides here in the US. If your family member is sick, I think that's what we are
I
trying
was
to do
going to
now.
ask that question. It's
If
like
your
you're
family
reading my
member
mind.
is sick, we have done the testing as well.
Mhm.
But we are trying to make sure that it is implemented. You can actually order a ride and they pick up whoever is in Cameroon to their destination. We
To another
understand the
location.
challenges.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you that since 2021, I have been doing R&D for this project.
Doing your better testing. Yes,
I'm
that's
trying.
that's good. I was going to ask that question and you just said it like, hey, can I, if I'm here in the US, I could order a ride for a sister at Obili and say, hey, please, and somebody needs to pick her from Obili and drop her off at Melen again, than just something like that.
It's possible. The only thing is the driver has to just confirm, because you will have to say you are picking up you are ordering a ride for this person.
For this person, then they confirm with the person
and
when they get there.
Hey, so I'm here for you. What's the person's name?
And they give you the information.
So if anything goes wrong, we know how to travel.
To remediate. This is beautiful, Valery, for real. Like, we switched gears from talking into the amazing work you've done in the military. And again, thank you for sharing all the nuggets when it comes to the military in the US. Again, sharing all of those specs that, again, as a veteran, you'll get there. Some people out there who are veterans, but they don't know that these are some of the things that they can benefit from. And again, one of the sweetest things about you Cameroonians that are in the military is this whole camp. When I heard about what camp is and what they do, I bet you that I'm like, wow, this is great. Some, again, people will say Cameroonians, but Palava support their own. Man, this is great support you are giving to these young boys and girls that are joining the military in the US. And again, kudos to you and the people up in the top.
If I can say something about camp, see, there are two things that I can die for. The TV lottery and the military. Camp. If you are interested, you want to know more. Every year we have conventions.
Yep.
And our convention is coming up in Texas. Camp has chapters. So the global body is Camp. I can say this. I think my president, Major Terry, will not kill me by promoting, or the board chairman Collins. I've been the Secretary General of CAM as well. I'm currently the president of CAM, North Carolina. So CAM, we have chapters, and we come and we converge every year in November. Last year we're in Boston. 2 years ago we're in Maryland. This year we are going to Texas. If you want to enjoy, there is life in the military. There is so much joy to be a U.S. military. The Marines, the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, So if you want to come, you want to understand, and we are around the Texas neighborhood, just come. There is a lot. Just come. I can remember in one of our camp meetings, conventions, there is this guy. Man, I forgot his name. He just came up. He's now a captain. He came, somebody invited him, and he was like, we're singing our march along, sing a song with the army of singing the US military, doing our military things. It changed his captain. He hasn't, I forgot his name. It changed his mentality. We were shocked. We came last year, was it last 2 years? They come and he was like, hey, guys, you know what? That particular convention changed and made me the man. And if I was still in the military, he would have been my big man because he's an officer.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So there's a lot to gain.
And is this an open event? Is this convention you organize? Is it an open event? Is it for anybody to attend?
Anybody.
Okay.
Anybody. I'm not sure how much the tickets will be, but they're always affordable. Of course, if you get your ticket for $50, $100, it comes with those drinks, food, a table, and so on. So everybody.
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's a good orientation opportunity, right? So where you can go in, if you're around, you attend it, you get to talk to people who are there. I believe that it helps a lot, especially when you don't have clarity. It's a good opportunity for you to go and talk to people who are there, get the information, and do what you have to do. So I think, again, I would encourage anyone that is in the Texas area around that time. Collins did talk about it when I had him on the show as well. He talked about
it's an opportunity to rub shoulders with the big guys.
Oh yeah,
people like Major Terry. You cannot. He's very busy. Retired Major Gante. They are very busy. But during camp, hey, we play soccer. I can kick him. And it's like, okay. So, hey, we have Cameroonians who have walked through the ranks of the military.
Yeah.
We have a lot, and once you come to some of those events, they will share their experiences with you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like mentioned, Cyril Kamba, there are a lot. There is a lot you can learn.
You can
There's
learn
a
from
lot
there.
how you can get your promotion and so on. So
Yeah.
that we have a lot of Cameroonians who are in the U.S. military, and we'll talk about camp. That are like that one. I think, hey, it
Oh
happens. It happens, but hey,
boy.
come and you will not regret it. Those who are, if you are a civilian and you think you just want to come,
Yeah.
come and experience it. We welcome
And this is
everybody.
good. Valerie, I've held you on here. Just said that you're belly hungry, did you? I've kept
Of
you on
course.
here for almost 2 hours, but I wouldn't lie. This has been a great conversation. And hey, if you're still on there watching us, pump us hard. Like, help me thank Valerie for creating this time. This is 2 hours of your morning. I've seen your daughters come in there and go out. And I bet that, hey, Sandra initially asked Kanase, hey, so babes, now how much longer you will keep Valerie for that show? But hey, Sandra, I'm about to let him go, okay? Thank you so much for saying yes to this. It's been an amazing conversation, all the way from the whole DV lottery into the military and into HCAP. There's a lot of people out here who are looking forward to what HCAP is going to bring to the Cameroon community. And again, as you plan on going live, I am once you go live, I'm very open to talking about it again on my platform for my own number of people that happen to watch me to know about HCAP. I think it's a very beautiful concept, it's a very beautiful business model. And hey, all I can do is wish you the best. I've talked about it and supported you in my own way just by talking about it with you. Since you mentioned it, and I do appreciate it a lot. And I guarantee you that we are behind you with HCAP. There is something that I do on the You Can Be Anything podcast when my guests come up. I give you that opportunity to speak to the world. I know that you've had that opportunity to serve, but this is that one opportunity that I give you as also babes to talk to the world. If there is something that you had, if I gave you that mic and say, hey, this is the world mic, the world is listening to you. What can you tell the world in a minute or less that you think that will impact people's lives? So this is me making you a motivational speaker now, Valerie. The mic is yours.
Yeah, you can be whatever you want to be. Once you stay focused in your dreams, this will give me an opportunity to say Hebron Global is open for business. I know there are many people who have wanted to, those that know, or those who knew that I was going to set up this service, they really wanted to join. At that time, I was like, no, Hebron Global is open now for business. You can come. Let's sit on the table. We see how we can impact our community and change something in Cameroon. Thank you.
Is there a criteria to become an investor in Hebron Global? If I had this money that I want to put there, I said, okay,
Bring your
Valerie, this is
money.
my $100,000. I want to invest in Hebron Global. Do I have to meet a certain criteria to become an investor?
No, for now, for you to invest in Hebron Global, the minimum is $1,000, and
Okay.
for you to be considered in the board, the minimum is $30,000. For There are criteria. The money may be there, but
Okay.
it doesn't qualify you to be in the board.
Yep.
I
Okay.
need to see that passion. Something must be. I want to see the connection with you and all the projects. Hebron Global has a lot of projects coming up, and already on my table, my IT guys have submitted 2 other projects.
Okay.
I see by the end of this year, no, early next year is a one. It will take us a year to realize this project and put it out there. We see
Okay.
a lot of guys. I don't care. I'll put it out there. If you have your money, I think you want to do it. Hey, do it. If you think you want to join us, come and join us. We'll do it. I see a lot of struggling people. I do cake, I do salad, I do this on their statuses. How do those things reach out to them? So we already have some of those projects coming up. There is another the age ticketing. There is risk, and people lost a lot of money in Douala. You leave Mabanda, for instance, you go to Amumezam, you pay your ticket, you drive again, or you take a car, a taxi, and go to Mabanda. You have already lost about 500 francs before you
Mhm.
want to travel. Hebron Global is coming with the H ticket, in which you will be you don't no need for you to walk around.
You buy
In
your
on our
ticket.
platform, you can sit at the comfort of your bed, your home, book. You say you're going to Bamenda, we'll give you all the options. Okay, I want to use Amumezam. You choose your seat. I'm giving you my word. We are already working on it. These are all projects on my table now, pending my validation. We just want the H cap to start
To go live.
functional, and then we would come. So, like I said, there is nothing we are doing that has not been done yet,
Mhm.
because people can still sit at in their houses and call the accountant, "Mommy, you know, side of a travel, no, book me ticket, but we are coming with it, something different."
Yeah.
So we want to
That's
make,
good.
we want to try in our own way to make life easy for Cameroonians. There is a lot we can do, especially some of us who have gone left the country. The other day I
Yeah.
told my wife, it's not for people to come and see and say that baby house, na Valery house. No, there is another way I want to touch the community. This is my own way, our own way of giving back. If you think that you want to share or you can share in our vision, hey, come and invest in Hebron Global. You will never regret. Our office, we are located at now in Bonaberry, um, cat etage at the Hype building. There is a school there, Hype University. We are on the fourth floor. You can go there anytime. Make a stop by. You see the office to make sure that hey, they are not. It's not a ghost office. You want to touch people. Our office has been vetted by the Ministry of. Before we got the authorization, the Ministry of Transport actually came and saw, and before knew that hey, this project can be handled by these people.
Yeah.
We have a certificate from Agence de Règlement de Télécommunication, since it's an app. So we have all these. We have a license from Camtel. We have so we all these we have, and they had to come physically, make sure
Mhm.
that we have the manpower and we have equipment. We have the technological know-how.
To
So
do that.
I want to thank everybody who is there. Thank you for your support, and I love you all. Thank you
This is
so much.
amazing.
We
Thank you,
made it work
Valerie.
since last year.
We made this work. It finally happened. We've been talking about
Yeah,
this for a year, and
yeah.
finally it happened. And hey, we are behind you. We know that this is going to work and forever. You have our support, man. You do.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
so much
appreciate
for
it.
making the time. I appreciate you. I'll talk to
Thank
you.
you.
I'll call you.
Bye bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Thank you again. Hey, hey, thank you all so much for staying on here. It's been an amazing time talking to Valerie. And I hope that we all got some nuggets out of this, right? Whether be it in the side of the military or the playing the lottery and all of that, or maybe you're a part of the military in the US and you do not know about camp. This is an opportunity for you to get more information on camp, or maybe it's HCAP. You want to know more about the app. Valerie is there. If you're someone that is passionate about projects like this in Cameroon and you have the money to invest, again, his doors are open to talk to potential investors when it comes to HCAP. If you are anywhere close to excitement like I am for this project to go live, then hey, do not hesitate to share and like this video. And if you've stumbled on my page today because Valerie brought his whole crew, hey, it's time for you to like my page, follow my page for more content like this. this is what I do. I love to talk to people. I would love to have people come and share their experiences, whatever it is that they are doing. And the whole goal here is for us to build our community, right? It's for people to be able to share their experiences, whatever it is that they are doing. Again, I did not really talk to Valery about his challenges. That's also something that I love to talk about. But again, we all know, we've all heard what he is working on with his team. And the best we can do is just to give this guy the support he needs, him and his team, and see how we can push this project forward. I thank you all so much for joining me today. It's been a long, exciting show, but hey, I appreciate those of you who stayed on and continue to show your girls some love. And I remain your one and only So Babes. Okay? Be blessed and be good to each other. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.